Fuck, this looks good.
4, 3, 2, 1, drop.
This is Peter, displaying all the telltale signs of a photographer.
Sick!
You've already met Guy. He's also a
photographer.
And then you have Matthias. He's a legendary photographer, shooting some of the best photos in the game for
25 years plus, I guess.
Do you keep track of how many covers you have?
I think it's somewhere between 400 and 500 nowadays.
I have all the respect in the world for Matthias, and picking up magazines and seeing all these amazing photos really made me want to get out and ski and try and have photos in magazines.
And I went skiing too.
Yeah, I have a bunch of magazines lying around. There's actually a Matthias cover. So I have in here the opening photos, the photo annual.
It's incredibly hard to get these shots today. Like the competition to get them in the magazines are never been any harder. There is fewer magazines, fewer pages in the magazines that are still around. I mean, I still get super happy to be able to compete with these younger photographers and have anything in there.
A day like today, how much money do you think you'll make?
I'd say seriously anywhere between 1.5 to 2.5 million.
So what's the business model here?
Shoot sick pad of photos, reach out to magazine editors, get some magazine photos, spreads and covers.
To be totally honest, I don't think I could sustain myself only on editorial, so now it kind of works out with some other stuff that I do as well, and other, say, commercial work.
Bård here told me he'll make the same money shooting a week of editorial for magazines as he'll make in half a day shooting commercial work for brands. That makes commercial work 10 times more lucrative for him, and still he was out there doing a magazine story with me.
A lot of people in this industry get super frustrated and feel like, oh fuck, I should just start shooting studio stuff or whatever, but you can never get everything to line up the same way there. Like when the light is perfect and the snow is great, the feeling to get the shots at that time, I think we all know how great that feels.
Dawn is breaking. What are we gonna ride today, Colin?
White chocolate.
I sold all my guilt, now look what we built together. I sold all my shame, now look how we eased the weather. I sold all my guilt, now look what we built together. I sold all my shame, now look how we eased the weather.
Hey! That recovery was gnarly. Firmer than expected.
We can do what no good people can. Half a life by sticking to our plan. Could you ever tell a difference? You should have known me.
2, 1, drop.
I should have known.
You know what I want to know? You can ask him is, how does he keep his passion going for shooting skiing every year for so long?
I mean, I've been through phases in my career quite many times where I feel like, oh, I should just let this go now. But it is something with skiing and mountain biking and just being out in the mountains that keeps me coming back to it. And
The main goal is to be out and ski and shred powder.
What do you think about that, MP?
I like the last part.
I looked over and I could see everybody. So my sled just lit on fire, which is so dramatic I didn't even film it.
We don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn.
What do you need sleds for anyways? From the looks of it, the snow is pretty wind affected, so I'm going to play it more conservatively.
Yes, please, that sounds good.
Oh no, we messed it all up. Can we do it again? Oh no, we messed it all up. Can we do it again? Oh no, we messed it all up. Can we do it again? Oh no, we messed it all up. Can we do it
You mentioned before when we were talking about how you're able to do editorial work and still get paid okay.
Right, so that you can go skiing and make this passion work.
And that's the tricky part.
That's a super tricky part.
yeah.
Or I don't know if that's a trade secret.
No, it's more like I just work on a pretty global scale, so I can do the same story for magazines on totally different markets that doesn't interfere with each other, and I can create my own trip and my own assignment that is sometimes as beneficial as doing a commercial work. Nowadays, with how the industry has been going, it works even better, and that keeps me going because there is so many interesting stories and so many interesting people to meet. And I mean, I still love to photograph people that are on the cutting edge of the sport, but I don't need to do that all the time.
And all those beggars, they should beg for
One I really wanted to get at with this episode was like how cool it is that people who can do other things so you make more money and have an easier life choose, you know, like to do editorial, things like that, just because it's rad. It's inspiring for me to see, so I hope it's inspiring for you.